Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. In today's webinar, we're going to be discussing connected AI and AI agents. We'll be discussing how customer service and customer service teams are really feeling burnout and struggling in today's dynamic environments. And we'll be talking about how to not only reduce that burnout, but also boost each individual agent's efficiency. Our quick agenda for the day. We're going to start off by talking a little bit about the problems that current customer service agents are facing. We'll really talk a little bit more about how disconnected internal systems can be. We'll discuss how AI can help and how connected AI through technologies like MCP can help really revolutionize your customer service experience. We'll be talking about a 3-step playbook for integrating and implementing an AI agent. And then we'll get some questions and answers. First, let's start with what is an AI agent, right? Well, an AI agent is the evolution of an AI chatbot. We'll talk a little bit more about this later in the actual presentation about some of the key differences. But I also want to talk about Indigitall here. Indigitall is a omni-channel customer engagement solution. We help customer service teams as well as marketing teams and digital transformation teams really create a more interconnected digital ecosystem. And this helps them integrate and execute not only marketing campaigns, but customer service campaigns seamlessly through multiple different channels, all through one product. As mentioned, we're really the only customer engagement solution that handles both the inbound and outbound channels. And what we mean by that is, the inbound inquiries from customers, people who are looking for quick answers or looking for product help or support, as well as outbound, meaning the marketing and sales type information. You're trying to get customers to buy through email, through SMS, through remarketing, through a variety of different channels. We're the only platform that helps connect basically the entire customer journey from end to end in one solution. This really helps create a unified system and a unified data point for executive teams, as well as managers and individual contributors to really understand what's going on within the business. It helps create a more consistent customer experience from the first touch all the way through support and advocacy. Now let's talk a little bit about the core problem, right? What are customer agents facing today? Well, most customer agent teams, most customer agent managers, customer service managers, they're really struggling with a handful of things. The first is budget cuts, reductions in workforces, higher customer demands. Everyone expects to have a very high level of service today, even from smaller brands. And it's very difficult, especially for small teams, to really to effectively manage that and fulfill those expectations. One of the core problems that many customer service agents face is what we call the swivel chair nightmare. And what we mean by that is that agents have to switch between multiple different apps, multiple different screens, going through order tracking, trying to look at the support system or service cloud, trying to go through the customer history, all these on different tabs or on different screens, swiveling the chair around and around to get basic answers for customers. One of the key issues that causes this is the actual chatbots themselves, either the lack of integration with existing systems, ones that can't access critical information. They aren't actually answering most customer inquiries, and the majority of them are still being passed to agents, and agents still having to manage all those systems. And they really drain the overall team efficiency and morale of customer service agents. We see so many times customer service agents being burnt out on, where is my order, or I would like to return my item, and having to repeat the same answer over and over and over again. It's not only tedious, but it really reduces the mental load, or increases the mental load for some of these customer service agents. They're not really focusing on things that matter, which is really a core thing that most younger people are looking for nowadays. So why do the old bots fail? Chatbots have been around for quite some time. I remember even 10 years ago, we had very basic chatbot systems, which was a live chat where agents were answering questions on the fly. Many systems today use programmatic logic-based systems, just like you would use for the old calling systems, where it's press 1 for this department, press 2 for this department. But in chatbot form, you've seen in more recent years the emergence of some AI chatbot capabilities, but there really has been a big limitation for these chatbots to date. Many of them can access external systems, but don't do it natively. Especially for lower tier chatbot offerings, there wasn't a huge amount of access available to chatbots to access things like APIs and go through an order tracking system, understand where an order was, or go through a service ticket and understand context. And this, while it did provide a higher level of support, we do have many customers even today who are migrating over to AI agents from AI chatbots, who got a lot of success from those types of systems. But as I kind of mentioned, customers really have higher expectations today. And while the experience, ends up resolving a ticket, it's not creating a really good brand experience. It lacks context. AI chatbots and most chatbots, which aren't AI chatbots still today, they can frequently create frustrating dead ends or circle back on logic streams over and over and over again until someone becomes extremely frustrated. And then it forces your agents to kind of clean up the mess. We see this a lot, especially with customers who are migrating from other chat systems onto ours, who, we're getting some value, but also seeing on a decent percentage basis, customers actually getting more frustrated when they didn't get their answers than they would if they just had a programmatic system. So customers today really just expect more than an isolated chatbot. They really expect helpful, real feeling conversations. And frequently marketing and support teams, they operate separately in managing of a chatbot and managing that experience. And that disconnect, costs you revenue and customer loyalty. So today we're really going to discuss more about how we can fix that with the AI agent technology today. And what's the impact on your business? And when you have bad customer experience or bad customer supports, or you're managing customer service teams that are burnt out and overwhelmed and understaffed, well, you have a few things that happen. The first is higher average handle time. It takes longer for a customer to get a resolution, even if they're going through a chatbot. Sometimes it's a more efficient route in terms of human versus computer-based resolutions, but it still takes longer for them to get the resolution they actually want. There's a lower first contact resolution, right? Frequently, you end up going again through a programmatic process where you're having to have multiple different conversations or multiple different logic streams just to get to the first answer that they might require on, a sequence of answers that they might want. Poor customer satisfaction and high agent burnout. Again, having a lackluster solution, having an experience that isn't seamless, that doesn't have context, that doesn't feel real. It's again, as customer expectations are changing, it's leading to more poor customer satisfaction scores, and also again higher agent burnout because the agents are having to really come in and fix the issues that the bots created. It's something that can be very, very frustrating for an agent in what a technology that has been helpful and can be helpful is turned into sometimes in certain instances more of a hindrance than a help. So what's the solution to this problem? And we've kind of alluded to it already, but AI agents. And let's kind of talk a little bit about what's the difference between an AI chatbot and an AI agent. Well, an AI chatbot can sometimes use some basic local LLM type technology, but it minimizes, or it doesn't have context. It lacks context. What I mean by that is it doesn't have connections to external systems or if it does, it has it in a very basic way that doesn't allow it to fully understand the context or relationship between different disparate data elements. And while it can sometimes still answer basic questions like, where's my order at with an order tracking number, it misses the overall context of a conversation and gives very, very basic answers. It still feels like a chatbot. AI agents are kind of the next evolution of this technology. And the main kind of core differences are one, more sophisticated, in-depth LLMs, but two, and more importantly, the development of MCP technology, or module context protocol, developed by Anthropic. This is a solution or system that you can think of as kind of like the API for LLMs. It gives LLMs availability of additional systems in a much more integrated way and helps provide much more additional context to create a much more impactful and contextually aware experience. And this helps create much better customer experiences throughout the sales cycle. So not just on the support side, but also on the marketing and sales side. It can do things like helping customers navigate and buy specific solutions or specific products, giving them advice on how to use the products, upselling and cross-selling, doing lead generation. Things that AI chatbots maybe could do some of, but couldn't do very well. AI agents now have the capacity to do very well. It executes tasks by connecting these disparate systems. And it doesn't just talk, it acts. And really it turns, a potentially powerful tool into a powerful tool. It's not just about having lots of channels or having lots of solutions. It's about how connected they can be and how seamless the experience for customers can be. And that's what AI agents can provide. So how does connected AI work? Well, as we mentioned, it's powered by an open standard communication layer. In most cases so far, that's MCP, as already mentioned. And this enables more secure real-time connection to any data source or tool that has an MCP connection. This really creates a much better interconnectedness and allows AI agents to act with reasoning and with logic, but also with context. And scaling personalization for customer experience, hasn't really been possible to date manually. That's really where this automation and this interconnectedness can really help, right? The chatbots handle a lot of the repetitive stuff, things like helping customers find a product or a product link, helping them with returns or order tracking. And it still kind of connects to that human level, right? It still has the ability to loop in a human with full context to take over for more urgent or sophisticated requirements for a customer support experience. This not only helps improve the overall CSAT scores and overall experience of the customer, but it also helps reduce some of the burnout we talked about. So again, what are some of the differences for AI agents? Well, they're always on, they're always consistent. They're very good at handling things like repetitive questions or complex routes. And again, it helps free your team to focus on high value interactions. And those are the types of interactions that matter most. They're the ones where people have a specific need or requirement. It's the ones where people are the most frustrated. And it's the ones where you have the biggest churn risk for customers. So having an AI agent to help manage all the repetitive tasks and do it in a much more contextually aware fashion and in a much more human feeling fashion can create better experiences for customers, but it also helps really improve the overall experience of your AI agents. AI agents also have the ability really to connect marketing and support. And as we talked about at the beginning of the webinar, Indigitall has a very unique capability in that we tie these two things together. And why is this important? Well, again, it helps create seamless customer experiences. a customer has the same type of interaction from the very first time they land on your website or go to your store, all the way through their process of purchasing a product, getting support, etc. It's the same exact experience from the nuts to the bolts. And AI agents give you really a big opportunity to bridge some of these gaps between acquisition and retention teams, or marketing and customer support teams, because the interconnectedness of these systems gives a great ability to have additional context that support agents wouldn't have before. Understanding past order history or past experiences that a customer may have, or past purchases, wasn't always something that an agent had the ability to understand, or an AI agent didn't have the ability to understand, or chatbot had the ability to understand. And even for human agents, there's often a lack of contextual knowledge around, what ads has this person seen recently? How can that affect their perception or expectation? Did they see a sale ad 2 weeks ago, and maybe they're contacting us because that code is expired, and they still want that discount, or they had a problem with the order and couldn't order at that time, and have some other types of issues. It helps bridge that gap and that expectation gap, as well as connecting those two teams more holistically with a connected system. Why this works? Well, again, it's that connectedness helps create more qualified leads and customers. It leads to fewer wasted opportunities, cart abandons, and churn. It creates a support system that delights and doesn't frustrate. You're not going through the equivalent of calling a call center and waiting and saying press 1, press 2, wait on the line, et cetera, et cetera. You're getting a real life, 24/7 availability support solution that's much quicker and has much better response availability, and increases conversions, loyalty, and lifetime value. So quickly, let's go through a quick example. One of our customers is called Mejorando. They are a pastry shop, and they use their AI agent capabilities and AI chatbot capabilities with WhatsApp, which they utilize for both support and sales. They're a pretty big historic brand. They've been around since 1931, and there is certainly a perception by their users historically of them being kind of a late to move on technology type brand. They wanted to really capture not only maintaining that level of old world or old school support and service, but they wanted to bring that idea and experience to the new world in terms of technology and capabilities. And we really helped them do that. Within the first 5 months of their starting to use our product with WhatsApp, they had over 57,000 conversations. They have 17,000 device users in the first 15 months. And they have an NPS score of 77.3%. So a very, very good NPS score for not only the order taking, but also the support. And let's talk maybe a little bit more detail about what that really meant for their customers. Well, there was 24/7 support. It was highly friendly and highly accessible. They even saw a huge improvement from more senior level customers, so people who are older. This is a big part of their historic market. They've been around for so long. They're such a historic brand, and that experience carried over and actually increased their sales significantly, having the ability for an AI agent to help people purchase things and help elder people purchase things on a more consistent basis. Their chatbot, which they call Bernardina, was consistent and had constant, direct, and immediate contact with people who messaged their system on WhatsApp. It featured a menu with some sections, so there still was some navigational capabilities in there, but it gave direct access to buy and purchase things through WhatsApp. Again, this created a much better experience for customers and increased their sales significantly. Let's talk real quick about just a few different use cases AI agents can be used for. Lead capture is one, right? AI agents can help gather information from non-subscribed users and register them. They can help get that initial information. Those people who maybe before weren't filling out a form or asking for more information, with an AI agent giving a curated experience, can capture that data with good context in a way that it couldn't before. Booking management, if you're a restaurant or hospital system, or any other type of business where you need to have reservations integrated within your solution, your chatbot solution. This wasn't something that you could really do very easily with chatbots previously. And again, didn't have that kind of personal human touch when you did. So an intelligent appointment manager can really help users book meetings very quickly or appointments very quickly and easily, and do so in a way that feels very natural. It's not just programmatic. It helps give them context. What do they need to expect of this appointment? Or if they're a restaurant, maybe they have some type of dress code that they need to be aware of. Upselling and cross-selling is a really great way that businesses add a ton of value with an AI agent, giving the ability to give recommendations based on information that AI agents gathering from multiple different sources, as well as past user orders on a per user basis. So if you purchase an item on a frequent basis from a website, and it knows that other people often purchase other similar items, it can give you that recommendation, but it still has the context of knowing whether or not you bought that before. A great way to help improve your overall value on a per customer basis. Product search and purchase. This is very related, I'd say, to upselling and cross-selling. Just helping customers navigate. If you have a big portfolio of products, and we see this a lot with department stores and other logistics type businesses that might have a lot of a lot of different product categories within their website. This is a great way to effectively give the customers the ability to navigate your site. Instead of having to go through big listings, tons of listings, it's a huge hassle to do that. It's frequently not a good experience. Having the ability to do product search and purchase directly through an AI agent is a great way to get customers buying more. Cart and form retargeting. Again, an AI agent can help provide additional context, help do more intelligent offers, and automates that retargeting process or cart abandonment process, helping kind of customers proactively fulfill forms or actually convert. Post-sales follow-up and NPS, again, having feedback be more naturally integrated into conversations versus a very annoying survey is a great way to get more contextual information and real actual feedback. And it does so in a very natural way. And then customer journey initiation. So if someone is first contacting a business and they're interested in something, or if they've just purchased something from you for the first time, AI agents can play a great role in proactively creating an onboarding or welcome sequence that helps to create lifetime customers. So if you have a few questions, now's the time. Please drop them in the chat, or feel free to contact me at josh.rice@digital.com. We have a question here. How can bot or AI agents be used across multiple channels? That's a great question. So AI agents can be omni-channel. They can be delivered, through your social media presence. Facebook and Instagram have capabilities to have chats available, as well as through your website or on mobile. We also support AI agents through mobile applications as well as WhatsApp. And again, the ability to kind of give customers the the option to connect with someone in the channel that they like best, or they are most familiar with, is really a huge win for many businesses, because it creates that consistent experience, but it also just gets them more inquiries and helps reduce that churn. I think something like 75% of people nowadays, after one bad experience with the brand, will move on to other brands, even if they've been loyal to the brands historically. The having one bad experience can really change your personal feelings on a brand. So having the ability to connect with someone on the channel that they care the most about, or they're the most familiar with, is a big way to help reduce some of those issues. Do you have an example of an AI agent helping to reduce churn? It's another great question. Yeah, we have a good number of handful of customers who use our AI chatbots in part to help reduce churn. We have some big banks who they help customers reduce fraud and help reduce issues with their accounts, which has shown good results in terms of reducing churn. And that's a pretty sophisticated use case. They have to interconnect a plethora of different systems to be able to access information, but also do it in a very secure way. But that's helped immensely in terms of fraud reduction, fraud reporting, as well as reducing churn that's fraud related. Any additional questions for me today? Great. Well, thanks so much for joining again. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out at josh.rice@digital.com. And I look forward to hearing from you.